Have you ever wished to become someone who is truly unshakable, someone who does not fall apart because of criticism, rejection, loss, or betrayal? Have you ever imagined the day when you will finally stop feeling that quiet pain, that hidden ache that slowly consumes you inside, even while you smile and act fine on the outside? Maybe you are exhausted from trying to please everyone, from holding up an image that demands strength all the time, when deep down all you ever wanted was to pause, to breathe, to rest for a moment from the pressure of being untouchable. But let me tell you something that maybe no one has been brave enough to tell you. As long as you keep trying to escape pain, it will continue to rule you. As long as you try to numb yourself, to protect yourself, to hide your real feelings, you will remain a prisoner to everything that happens around you, to the words that wound you, to the actions that disappoint you, to the silence that feels unbearable. And this is not weakness. This is the reality for most people. The only difference is that some people pretend better than others. Carl Jung, one of the most influential figures in depth psychology, said that we are not what happens to us, but what we choose to become. And that is where the key is hidden. It is not about shielding yourself from the world. It is not about becoming cold, distant, or emotionally numb. It is about integration. It is about bringing into the light everything that currently affects you in the dark. Because real strength is not the absence of pain. It is the full awareness of who you are, even when you are hurting. If you are still here listening to this, it is not by accident. This message is for you who are tired of being hurt by everything and everyone. It is for you who feel like you are always emotionally exposed, as if other people have power over you that you cannot understand. I want to show you that it does not have to stay this way. But to change it, you will need to face some uncomfortable truths. And maybe for the first time this pain will not destroy you. Maybe it will free you. You believe that what hurts you is outside, in what others say, in words spoken carelessly, in the times you were abandoned, in betrayals you never expected. But the harsh truth is this: none of these things truly have power to hurt you unless there is already an open wound inside you. What hurts you is not only what others do, it is what those experiences awaken within you. It is the story you repeat in your mind about what happened. It is the old trauma that was never healed. It is the emptiness you hide behind pride, behind strength, behind the desperate need to look stable and in control. Jung taught that the pain we feel from the outer world is often a reflection of what has not yet been integrated inside our inner world. That is why some people can go through extremely painful situations and still remain calm and clear, while others break down over a simple comment. It is not only about what happens, it is about where it touches you. It is about which wound it activates. Here is a difficult truth. You still suffer deeply because, at some level, you believe you can control how the world treats you. You are still trying to be good enough, smart enough, strong enough, kind enough, understanding enough, as if that will guarantee that no one will hurt you again. But control is an illusion, and as long as you hold on to that illusion, you will live in constant tension, trying to predict what cannot be predicted, trying to avoid what cannot be avoided. Do you truly want to stop suffering? Then stop trying so hard to protect yourself from suffering. What you need is not more control. What you need is more awareness. As long as you believe that other people must change for you to feel peace, you will remain emotionally dependent on their behavior. Your freedom begins the moment you understand that what comes from outside only has power if it finds something unresolved inside you. And that is where the real battlefield is located. In the unconscious, what you do not see, do not understand, and do not face will quietly control you. And this is what we need to look at now, because transformation does not begin on the surface. It begins in the depths. The biggest lie you were ever told is that you are fully in control of your life. The truth is, you are not, at least not as long as you keep living on autopilot, reacting without knowing why, feeling emotions without understanding where they come from, making choices that you later regret or sabotage. Jung made this clear when he said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." And that is what happens every day. The anger that suddenly explodes, the sadness that appears without warning, the fear that does not seem logical. These are not random, they are signals. Messages from parts of you that were ignored, forgotten, or pushed away. Jung described this hidden territory as the unconscious. And it is not just a vague cloud of thoughts, it is active. It contains memories, traumas, desires, fears, and emotions you did not want to face. You wonder why certain words destroy you while others seem unaffected. It is because those words touch sensitive places inside you that are still alive. And if they are still alive, it is because they were never truly addressed. You pushed them aside, but they did not disappear. Now you keep stumbling over the same patterns again and again. Jung also said that we cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not free us. It only traps us deeper. And what have you been doing? Judging yourself, silencing yourself, pretending to be stronger than you feel. But the unconscious does not vanish because you ignore it. It simply finds other ways to show up. In toxic relationships you repeat, in self-sabotaging habits you cannot break, in anxiety that rises when everything seems calm. This is not bad luck, it is your inner world asking for attention. But you keep running. If you truly want to become someone who is no longer easily hurt, stop running from yourself. Because as long as you do not understand your unconscious, you will remain a puppet of your own emotional reactions. The more you try to defend yourself from the world, the more fragile you become inside. There is another way, and it is not about building thicker walls. It is about integration. Becoming emotionally strong is not about being cold. It is not about shutting down feelings. It is about knowing what you feel and why. It is about accepting your shadows instead of hiding them. Jung called this process individuation. It is the journey of becoming who you truly are. Not what others expect. Not what you learn to be to gain approval, but what emerges from the union of your light and your shadow. Individuation is not about becoming perfect, it is about becoming whole. The more you run from pain, the more it follows you. The more you try to appear unaffected, the more sensitive you secretly become. But when you face your wounds honestly, when you allow yourself to see your insecurities, your anger, your fear, and your need for love, something changes. You stop reacting automatically. You begin to respond consciously. You were taught to hate pain, to believe that suffering means weakness, that crying means failure, so you learn to avoid it. But ignored pain does not disappear. It transforms, it becomes anxiety, anger, numbness, or self-destructive behavior. Jung saw suffering differently. He believed pain was a messenger of the soul, a signal that something inside needs attention. When everything inside you feels like it is falling apart, it might actually be falling into place. Because sometimes what breaks is not you. It is the false image you created to survive. And when that image collapses, you are left with something more honest. Individuation requires courage. It requires you to question everything you believed about yourself. You are not your achievements. You are not your failures. You are not the mask you built to be loved. That mask helped you survive. But surviving is not the same as living. To become emotionally untouchable does not mean nothing affects you. It means you have already faced your inner storms. You have looked at your shame, your jealousy, your fear, and instead of rejecting them, you have said, I see you. And because you see them, they no longer control you. True strength is not armor, it is clarity. It is the calm center inside you that remains steady even when the world is chaotic. You may still feel pain, but it does not destroy your identity. You may still experience rejection, but it does not define your worth. This path is not easy. It can feel lonely. Not because you are alone, but because not everyone chooses to go this deep. Many people prefer the surface. But if you have come this far, it means something inside you is ready. Nothing will protect you from suffering if you remain unaware of yourself. Awakening is not a single dramatic event, it is a daily choice. It is choosing to look within, to take responsibility for your emotions, to stop blaming others for what your wounds are still holding. Jung said, what you resist persists. What you accept transforms. You have spent years resisting fear, resisting loneliness, resisting the feeling of not being enough. And it has exhausted you. But when you begin to accept these parts instead of fighting them, they start to lose their power over you. Emotional immunity is not hardness, it is awareness. When you understand your triggers, your patterns, your past wounds, The behavior of others stops controlling you. You still feel. But you do not drown, you still suffer. But you do not lose yourself. Those who live only on the surface are shaken by every small wave. Those who dive deeper discover a quiet strength beneath the surface. And that is where you are heading. A place where clarity replaces control, where acceptance replaces fear, where awareness becomes your shield. If this message awakens something in you, let that be the beginning. Real transformation does not happen in one moment. It happens every time you choose awareness over avoidance. Every time you choose truth over pretending. Every time you face yourself instead of running. You do not become unshakable by hardening your heart. You become unshakable by knowing your heart completely. And once you truly know yourself, nothing outside of you can take that away.